Welcome. Today I'll be showing you how to set up your sound system, your Pyle sound system. Please be sure to read and listen carefully to each of the instructions so that you're able to set up and have a successful event with audio. You'll first want to ensure that you have the box with the microphones and the wireless receiver. This is usually located in the Director of Facility Operations, Grady DeLeon's office. Please request it days prior or the day prior to your event, ensuring that you have access. Second step, let's make sure we have all the supplies necessary, all the tools. So you'll find 2 microphones in the box, and we'll get to those a little later. You'll find 2 microphone stoppers. These are to be placed on the microphones to ensure that they do not roll off the table. They stop it from rolling. You'll find an audio cord, the power cord, and then underneath, this foam lifts out, and you will find the power cord for the back of the speaker, as well as the wireless mic receiver. So you'll want to ensure that you have these components. There are 8 of these things that you will essentially need to set up your sound successfully. First step will be to plug in the power cord. Now, you may have a longer power cord, as I know there is a longer one floating around cafe. However, this is the one provided and it's a little shorter, so you may need an extension cord. You're gonna take the power cord, and where you're gonna plug it? You're plug it right there into the power port. Next, you're gonna take the auxiliary cord and you're gonna plug it into mic slot 1. The next thing you'll want to ensure that you have is your wireless receiver for the microphones, for the wireless microphones. You want to stand the antennas up, and then you can place this either on the table next to the speaker system, or you can place it on top, as I typically do. For the sake of today's tutorial, we're going to actually place this on the table. You want to make sure this doesn't fall, as this is the receiver and it is a very expensive piece of equipment. We're going to take the auxiliary cord and we're going to plug it in the back of this where it says mix. So that's plugged in. Next, we're going to utilize the power cord. So there's another power cord, and plug this in to the back of the wireless microphone receiver. So it's going to go right here next to the auxiliary cord. Then of course we're going to plug this into the wall. Next, you'll want to ensure that your power is plugged in. Now successfully plugged in the power for the speaker system. Now that your speaker system is plugged in and your wireless mic receiver is also plugged in and connected to power, you'll want to look at the back of your Pyle sound system. You'll notice at the bottom there's a power on off switch. You will need to turn this on to power it on, and then when you're finished, you want to power it off. So we're going to power it on. It'll light up. Now, important note, if you'd like to connect your Bluetooth from your phone to the system to play music, maybe to lighten the mood, or give high energy for your event, you can hit the mode button, which is located here. And then the Bluetooth will be turned on, and you're going to search and you're going to look for the name Pyle on your wireless device or your laptop computer, whichever device you're trying to connect. If you are someone that has previously connected to the device, you'll want to ensure that your previous or old device is not connected, as it will automatically connect. Ensure that is disconnected first, and then you can go ahead and ensure that you connect with the new device. All right, so on the back, you have your volume. So your general volume will control, if you have a phone or a computer attached, it'll control the volume of which the speaker is playing that music. So if my phone was connected right now, I would turn it up or down. And then you'll notice there's another knob that has mic volume, right? So this will be specific to the microphones. So now that we're plugged in here and connected to the wireless microphone receiver over here, we'll control this for the mics, okay? You'll also notice your other knobs for the bass, the treble, and the echo. Obviously, if you want your mic to echo hello, 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 you would play with this a little bit, but if you don't, you're gonna turn it all the way off. And similar for these ones, how strong you want your mic to be. We'll keep them at about here. The next step will be to power on your wireless microphone receiver. It's just as simple as hitting this button to power it on until it turns on green. There's nothing else that you need to do on this box. It's already queued up and ready to go for you. Next, you want to ensure that you have the protector so it doesn't roll on the microphone. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on. All right, we got that on so that prevents it from rolling. So if I place it on the table, it's not gonna roll on me. All right, next we're gonna power on the microphone. So you just hold the power button down, and as you can hear, there's a little sound. All right, so we're gonna test that mic out again. And you can see test 1, test 2, test 3. All right, so the mic is set up and good to go. You'll also want to ensure that the microphone is charged, so you'll see the battery life displayed. Again, you need to worry nothing about the channel. It is already set up and ready to go, and these batteries are actually full. If you do need batteries, please connect with the Director of Facility Operations, and her team will be able to get those for you. All right, so your event is over and it is time to put the sound system and mics away. So we're gonna undo everything that we did. I will spare you the details of that, as you were aware of unboxing. We'll return the microphones and all the cords back to their spaces and put them back in the box. Ensure the lid is on and closed up, and then you're gonna place this back in the Director of Facility Operations office, as well as ensure the mics are in there, right? Pull all your cords out. This sound system will be then placed into the white storage closet. It will be placed into the white storage closet. There should be no cords attached to the back of this, as they will all be placed in the box. So it should just be bare with no cords, and these will be placed back in the box. If you do not have access to the Director of Facility Operations office, you would hold on to it and turn it in the following day of your event. However, it does need to remain on site, so we can communicate that to the other teams as they might have use or need for the microphone and sound system. This is also important to note. If you needed to change the batteries, you can twist the microphone off this way to the left, and you'll notice it'll open and you can see the batteries in there, and then you're able to swap them out if needed. Now everything's broken down, it's back into its place. So you'll see all the cords return, the microphone stoppers, as well as the two microphones in the cozy, as well as the wireless receiver for the microphones and the power cord on top. Remember, this compartment lifts up, and you'll want to lock this away. That concludes our tutorial of how to use the microphones and the sound system. Thank you.